things are going to change up with areas 1 and 2. And we talked about in class, in the anterior, we divide the tooth into half. You remember that? Okay. And that part of the tooth that is toward us, or toward me, on each tooth, is considered the toward direction of the tooth, the toward surfaces. The opposite of the midline there is the away surfaces, or the away surfaces, I guess is better. Does everybody understand that? So we have away and toward on each tooth. And there's a reason why we do toward and away in the anterior. And can anybody tell me why we do toward and away and not starting at the distal line angle like we did in the posterior?
The midline?
Because of the midline. So this would be distal, 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 and then mesial, mesial, mesial. Do you see that? The distals are over here. Distal, distal, distal. Distal, distal, distal. So they're opposite one another. All right, so we are going to do toward surfaces with us facing toward the patient. So we're going to be somewhere 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock, and we're going to do all the half of the tooth surface that are considered the toward surfaces on each tooth. Does everybody understand? All right, and we're now going to use our number 17 Explorer, which is on our number 5 Explorer. Is everybody with me? All right. And we're going to palm our mirror and retract the lip now with our index finger of our non-dominant hand. And we're going to place our fulcrum kind of built up with our arm over the patient. And our toe now of our working end is going to be toward us. So we have the toe in the toward direction. We're going to do the toward surfaces, and we are in the toward position. Toward, toward, toward. Got it? All right, so we're going to start at the middle like we did before, just on the other side of it. Modified pin grasp. Standing up on our fulcrum, but yet we have a neutral wrist and our toe on the tooth, fingers all together with our modified pin grasp, and our hand leaned toward the maxilla, and we may rub on those top teeth, and that's okay. And as you come around the corner, you want to make sure that that shank is parallel to the long axis of the tooth. So you have to kind of lean your hand in the toward direction as well. And rolling each stroke, that toe toward the tooth, and the heel is off of the tooth. So as you go across the proximal surface, you're going to go up to the contact and back down as you walk across that proximal surface to the other side. Pick your fulcrum up, adjust your grasp, and move to the next tooth. So as you come around the corner, you lean your hand in that direction so that your shank is parallel with the long axis of the tooth. Otherwise, if I don't, my shank is going to be laying down. You see that? And it's supposed to be parallel. Oops, sorry. Move your mannequin if you need to. Okay. Everybody see that? Okay, so that was the toward surfaces in the anterior. And we only have done half of each of those teeth, correct? So we have to do the other half. To do the other half, we're going to move to the away direction, which is going to be up here somewhere between 9 and 11:30. Turn our mannequin towards us. We're still palming our mirror, and we're going to retract the lip now with our thumb, modified pen grasp, and we're going to come down, elbows in close, and wrist kind of bent like this. So everybody do their wrists like this. And we're going to come down over the maxilla and stretch our fulcrum down on the tooth next to the one that we're going to be working on. We're going to start at the midline. And as I go around the corner, I'm going to lean my hand in that direction. And I've got my head tilted some so I can see. And I'm going to back up my fulcrum. And remember, fulcrum always needs to be as close to the working area as possible. Toe on, heel off, so every stroke is rolled. And then you'll need to turn your mannequin because you're going to start getting really tight in here. And adjust your grasp as you move from tooth to tooth. So every stroke, I am rolling that toe toward the tooth. Now, notice where my second finger is on my fulcrum finger. Do you see that?
The shank.
No, it's sitting on top of my fulcrum finger, so I'm piggybacking my fulcrum finger. My second finger is on the shank where it should be, but now my second finger is also piggybacking my fulcrum. And then as we get to this canine, we're in here real close. Okay? So now we've done toward and away in the area 1, the labial of the anterior. All right? So for area 2, we're going to come back to the toward direction, and we're going to place our mirror in now, and our light would be coming straight over and pointed straight down into the lingual and onto our mirror. And we're going to use complete indirect vision, again a modified pen grasp. We're going to stand up straight and tall on our fulcrum and lean our hand toward the lingual, which means we're going to probably hit these maxillary teeth. That's okay. And start at the middle because we're going in the toward direction. My toe is facing toward me and I am facing toward the patient. Toward, toward, toward. And as I come around the corner, do you see my shank? It's straight up and down with the long axis of the tooth. Do you see that? So you imagine if we drew a line down the midline, my shank is parallel. Do you see that? And we'll pick my fulcrum up and I'm going to move to the next tooth. Toe on, heel off. And I'm using complete indirect vision. I'm also using my mirror to retract the tongue and for illumination. I'm also using it for trans illumination. And what does that mean? Through the teeth. Right. And that's going to show me any shadows that might be on the tooth or in the tooth. Right. So that was area 2, toward. So now I have to finish the rest of area 2. So I'm going to go back to the away direction, which is going to be 11:30. I'm going to place my mirror in. And now I want to, because I'm doing those away surfaces, I want to turn my mirror so that I can see around the corners here of each tooth, because if I just put it in this